$39,101 or 40,000, something like that. I made 40,000 bucks at least from my last harvest, and that is something that we could really use. We are going to look at what's on sale periodically here to see what we could purchase. Some of these machines have been really beneficial to us, and this one is by far my favorite one. Having this bale picking machine is literally the biggest time saver. Plus, I love its animations. Some of the other bale machines I hate because they just kind of like appear on the trailer, and this one at least, we'll come back for that one. This one at least does the work of picking the thing, which I think is the coolest part. So, at least we, oh, there we go, come on. At least we have the animation here, and it also unloads nicely. So, plus it holds nearly all of the bales that we get off of our fields right now. Actually, it does hold all of our bales. We don't quite fill this machine completely with all of our bales. I think we're short by like 2 bales when we fill it up. So we basically get a whole trailer off of our 3 fields here. We probably can get more if we cut the grass in between, but we don't do that, and that's fine. Come on. There we go. And that's okay. You know, honestly, it's fine. We're not trying to maximize every bit of our property here, but we're really just trying to use this to get ourselves into the green here more frequently, so that we can then eventually buy some more property and start some other harvesting. I would love to get into some vine work and doing grapes, as is New Jersey very well known for, as its wines. So that's something I really want to do. Come on, there we go. And it looks like, yeah, exactly that. We're going to get 3/4 of the way there, and then we'll have our last row be only one. Oops, turned it a little too tight. And then, as you guys can see, I leave some grass behind. And I don't know if you noticed here how I cut the areas on the outside of this. I tried using Courseplay, and Courseplay seemingly doesn't know how to stop some instructions I need to give, and so it cut the grass on the outside of the field a little bit, which I try my best to collect as much of that as I could, and that's fine. But in the future, I'm going to let it grow out, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just use regular hired help to do the grass cutting part. Plus, I like doing a few things manual. Maybe when things get big and we don't have a lot of when we have too much to handle all individually, maybe we'll set up some Courseplay things. But Courseplay in this stage of the game, I don't think this is necessary. So we are going to drop this right here, and let's let that ferment. That'll take a few months to do that. I might get rid of this windmill just because of how slow it works. The one thing I gotta say about all productions in this game is that they produce way too slow. Like, I have some flour in here that I won't be able to get out because it has to make a full pallet, so I've already lost whatever the amount of flour that is. First off. Secondly, the flour that's in here is takes like forever to make a few pallets. Like, I put in 3 fields worth of flour, barley essentially, and got like 6 pallets worth of flour. Granted, that's not nothing, but it seems like a small amount for what I think should be done by these amount of fields. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know enough about farming. Maybe that's the case. And secondly, I feel like it doesn't take that long to make flour. If you've got a windmill, it shouldn't take, 4 months to make 4 pallets of windmill flour out of this much stuff. So I just think it's a little bit out of place. I'll drop you. We don't need you. And so I feel like that's a little bit of a slow process. So we might get rid of that and put something else there. I'd like to consider getting a different kind of production building there, or if at the very least just use this as a yard to store some of our stuff, and then we can just turn this into a storage place for some of our equipment, because clearly we can't store a lot of equipment in here. I like to store my tractors in here, keep them out of our rain. I think that'd be kind of cool, plus they're easier to drive and drop. I don't like having to back my trailers into here, so we can keep all the trailers outside, put all the tractors in here, and maybe do something with that windmill. And you know what, actually, we are just going to get rid of that windmill right now. I'm tired of looking at it. So let's go ahead and do that. We can sell it. Doesn't even give us Doesn't even give us stuff for that. All right, so let's go ahead. I don't know. Do we want to paint it with? Yeah, let's just paint it with a little bit of rockiness, like that. Why not? And then we could store. Actually, let's make this a little bit bigger. I don't really like this, but just like that. Now we have like a little area to store our stuff, and that's just where we'll keep all of our things from now on. I think that'll work out. We could also decor it with some buildings, but so what I'm thinking about maybe doing, because we have all these buildings to pick from. We already have a distributor. We have a water distributor. These are seed water manure distributors. Here's a sawmill. I thought about maybe putting a sawmill down, but like we're not doing we're not doing things like that. Manure factory, kind of cool if that's something we ever want to get into. I think if we're collecting straw is not the greatest thing to sell, but if we can use manure as our fertilizer versus having to buy fertilizer, that'd be great. But then we need to buy a new fertilizer spreader because we need to buy one that does manure. So this is a bit of an investment down the line. We had this before. I felt like this was really slow. Here's an all-in-one production building, so that way we could always make things. This may be the way we go going forward if we do productions on our property. It says it does it all. Does it do wood projects? It says it accepts lumber. Doesn't say it accepts trees. Yeah, it says it accepts trees, which means that it probably produces furniture, but does it produce other things? Furniture. Yeah, I suppose it does. So this could do a little bit of work for us too, for a little bit of our money. But I kind of like the idea of having like things that visually look like what they do. Like here's an area that splits trees into wood chips. Like that's all it is a wood chipping facility, and that makes the most sense for something like me on this property, because I do know that in New Jersey that people do this. They convert their trees on their property to wood chips or to firewood. So that is an option. Here's one that does pallets and wood chips. I think it's a little extra. Pallets I do know are something that are common in New Jersey, but do they make them a lot in New Jersey? I don't really know. Here's where we can convert our wood chips to energy, which I think is probably the strongest contender of what we might do, but obviously we need to be able to make wood chips, and we can do that with any of these sawmills that we have here, or at least with this setup here. Where is it? This might be what we do, and maybe that's what we put here, honestly. You know, tuck this in here, make this a place where we drop our wood off, and then do our electric production right here. So I think that's what we'll do. We have a little bit of money, but before we do that, let's make sure there's no good sales on anything. Here's a harvester that's got a decent sale, but we can't afford. Here's an auto-loading trailer. Here's a manure spreader we just got finished saying. And here's a few things. I don't know that we need to do anything just yet. Let us stop for a moment and rehash what we think we need. This tractor is great. It does a lot of the little things for us. I hate to get rid of my first tractor. I think it's kind of nostalgic for me. I'd like to keep it. So we'll just go ahead and park this guy away. We do need ourselves, I think, a bigger tractor than even this one, because the mower that we have, although this tractor can do it, just seems to struggle with it, and I'd like a much larger tractor to do that with. These two machines are like 100% the top tier thing that we're going to use going forward, so we're not going to get rid of them. This tractor is a good middle of the road tractor. If we can buy a really good tractor, then we could have 4 tractors, or maybe even get rid of the red one if the red one just really isn't that powerful. It's a nice cheap tractor, but it does have its downfall, which I think is the fact that it's a little bit clunky for what it is. Can't get any closer with the weight in the front, but that's fine. So a little bit clunky. This cultivator is great if when we're ready to do cultivation, but we are going to need to buy some fields if we want to convert fields into other things. So I think we have everything we need. We're not at that stage where we need to do any sort of herbicide plan, the spraying, or anything else of that nature right now. So I think owners are cedar. So we got everything we need to start. So let us fast forward to the next month. Actually, before we do that, let's look at property. So this is the property we own. This other field here wouldn't be bad to invest in. This one's an awkward shape, but these values are just a little too much for us to buy. We are not quite at that stage for buying any of these properties. Even the small ones, like there's one with 2 fields in it. We can't even afford these like small houses and stuff. So I'd like to buy field 53 at some point. I think that'd be the next field we get. We need to get to $152,000, and at this rate, it's going to take several seasons of us harvesting this. So we are going to have to kind of like step up some of our work in between. So we might have to do some contracts to get there, because we're not going to get there very quickly just doing silage. To get to buy more property is going to take forever. So maybe we will do a contract. So let's go take a look at contracts. That is not contracts. Oh, by the way, I have a new mod installed. It allows us to see where we can sell tomatoes. Diesel and water are things that we don't sell, but if we had goods, we could show you what those are. It doesn't seem to pick up on silage. I just noticed that. This is grass. It's not picking up on any grass yet. Maybe if the silage was in like something and not just in bales, maybe it would pick up. But it's looking for what we have, the tomatoes that we have in production. It's thinking, oh, the best place to sell right now is the farm shop for $146, but they can go up as high as $564 per 1,000 liters or whatever it is. In February. The max price is with the purchase, so $159 is the maximum we'll get for it. Can't even sell water, so that's why. But yeah, those are the values that we have out of this. So pretty cool, but we don't have enough of it to go. Yeah, see, it only thinks we have this much, which is what, 1,500 liters. Yeah, it doesn't count. That's the one thing. It doesn't count what's on trailers. It only counts out what's inside machines or in greenhouses or silos. So it's not counting this. So therefore, it's not picking up on the silage. I'm wondering if that's something that we can like maybe put a little bit of silage into something, so that way it kind of always looks for the silage and we can find it. Because I don't think I can add items to this yet. It only looks at what's in my goods. Yeah, that's the one downfall. So we're gonna have to continue to look where silage sells. At this point, it looks like silage, grass, silage. I have 3 places. The biogas plant accepted for $153 per 1,000. This one's $162 per. So this is where I go right now. It's kind of the middle of the road of the options. Farm Shop North and Farm Shop South, which again I've pointed out on this map several times before that it doesn't quite show where all these sell points are. No matter how hard you try, it doesn't pick up on every sell point. Like there's sell points right here, it doesn't pick up on. It doesn't know those. So this is not the best example of this mod, but it is a pretty decent mod if you're on mods in which that you put all your plants down and such, which is why I'm really considering, maybe spending the money to build like a tree cutting thing. Doesn't make sense to make wood chips to do electricity, because I only have like 3 trees on my property, so that doesn't make a lot of sense right now. What really does make sense is doing contracts. So let's at least do one contract today. Where are my contracts at? Those are finances, contracts. So we have a baling contract, which we may be able to do ourselves. Mow the grass at field 4 and dry it with a tedder and bale it and take the bales to the farm. That's a lot of work, but that's an option. Cultivating, we have our own cultivator, so we could do that, but this is a much larger cultivator. Fertilizing, those are always quick money. Good details on here so we can see that. Oh wow, look, it even breaks it up now into these sections. Fertilizing, okay. Harvesting, we could borrow the harvesters, but that's really a low payout. Harvesting oats, another low payout. These numbers here are showing me, like, I guess the difference of what can be made here if you're using yeah, this is mission type, profit per minute. Let's do it net profit. That's more important. Yeah, this is where the money could be made. So in the bailing process, because we can TED it, we can do all that, and we can bail it with their equipment or lease equipment. We could use their equipment here too. This is what, dry it with a tedder, bail it, and take the bales to the farm shop north. Again, I don't know where farm shop north is, and that's a real problem. I don't know where that is. Finishing these quests. Prepare a field for the sowing. This might be what we do. Just because it's a very quick one to do. Profit per minute. It takes us about a half an hour to do. That will take the longest. So let's look at profit per minute. That's obviously best per minute. But this is still a pretty easy one. Half an hour profit per minute is pretty darn good, and we get the most money out of it. So that's what we're going to do. We have everything we need to do this quest. It's just going to take us a long time. We don't have to show you everything, but let's go ahead and get started. We're not going to borrow any items because we could do it by cultivating with one of our own equipments. All right. So we'll grab our big tractor because I think that'll mean that we can do this a little bit faster, even with our smaller cultivator. Come on. Back up, clip on. It's a pretty decent sized cultivator for what it is. It'll do the trick. Now we gotta find out where this quest is. All the way down there. Okay. Well, we'll resume when we get there. See you in a minute. Alright, we made it here. Now, this is a pretty darn big field. So hiring a person to do this is gonna be a little rough. So we are going to use a course play situation here, and I'm going to clear all of these. I left the harvester machine, but I think I'm just going to clear all this. Change mode. We're going to go delete entries. Yes. Delete. Delete. Yep. Delete. Alright, so once that's all deleted, this mower situation we're going to delete as well. And then can we delete these? Yeah, okay. So we're much better off now. And then let's go ahead and create a new course. So we just need to go to course play, or is it course play? No, here. Course. Why do I do this again? I forget now. No. How do I do this? That's not right. That's not right. Create job. There we go. I'm stupid. Alright, so we got CP field work. It knows we want this field. We'll select that field. Target position. I don't know exactly what to do here, so we'll just go click that. We'll say open and close course tab. We don't really care about this. We just want the tool to be accurate, so we're going to say no scrolls to skip. Headlands, I don't think we need to do that either. Field center, rows to skip. We're not going to go any rows. And then we're going to island bypass mode, sure, multiple tools, no. Number of headlands, we don't need to do any of those. So let's generate field course. Gonna take a moment because it's gonna be a lot of passes. Boom. And then close the course. And then we are going to go to coursework. And we're gonna say create a new folder. We'll call this field 13 or whatever it is. we'll say save course, activate a new course. We'll call it cultivating, and it's already loaded, so that's it. So now all we have to do is just show the start and stop. Where is the start and stop? Okay, it's an interesting place for it to start, but it is accurate. Let's show the whole thing. Yeah, that is a start and stop waypoint, so that's fine. It's going to have us start there and finish there, finish all the way up there somehow, so we'll see what happens. Maybe it does everything to the right here, and then it goes back around and comes back down in the middle here. So, yep, we are going to set this up. We'll turn off all waypoints, and then we'll say hire worker, and should do the thing. Might take a little while. Now it says half an hour with their equipment, but probably going to take us more like an hour. So we will let this go for a little bit like a montage, and we'll let you guys see how the progress comes along, and we'll speed it up. All right. $5 for that. And let's collect. And we're done. Nice. A decent payout for that. It is now 5 in the morning. It took us forever to do that, but we are done. So that was a nice little change of pace there. It is new day, so there's new sales. The machines are still on sale that they were before, and a wagon module that we can't use, so nothing good for us to spend on. So we are likely going to hold off on spending the money, and we will we'll hold up and see if we can get like 150,000 bucks soon, and then buy one of these properties, because we could really either make some more silage and sell it off a little faster and make our money back for the property pretty quickly, or we could start doing other things. I'm not sure. I think we really just need to like maximize our profits with the property we have, and that might mean doing more grass. So we'll take a look at that in the next episode, after we sell off our silage again, and we will take it from there. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. It's Chuck Thunder. Be sure to sign up, subscribe, like, comment below. Let me know what you think. Love you guys.